Paco, so glad he could join us. While he remains under house arrest until he can appeal his sentencing, former GPD officer Mark Torrey Jr. is scheduled to return to court this week for a restitution hearing. However, the prosecution filed a motion this week asking to continue the hearing as the victim's wife, Mika Piolo, will be off island. Torrey is objecting to paying restitution other than what the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission already paid out. The former GPD officer was sentenced to 8 years in prison after he was convicted of negligent homicide for the 2015 shooting death of fellow cop Bert Piolo. Piolo's wife is seeking $1.8 million in restitution for funeral, medical expenses, and lost wages. The government has asked the hearing to be moved from July 26 to August 2nd. A former village mayor accused of exposing himself to a female community service worker and asking if she did massages is set to go to trial this October. Former Manila Mayor Nito Blas appeared in Superior Court today. His attorney David Lujan requested for a December trial so that he could handle other trials he has scheduled for this year. However, Judge Michael Berdalio set trial for October 30 and put Blas on notice, telling him in court that he should consider seeking another attorney since his lawyer is, quote, so popular. The alleged incident happened in 2015. Blas maintains the massage was strictly to address a leg injury he sustained while directing traffic in his village. The Guam Power Authority is getting ready to sign 2 huge deals that will add 120 megawatts of utility-scale renewable energy to the grid. GPA is seeking CCU approval of a power pool agreement with KEPCO for two 30-megawatt solar plants. The deal will not only reduce reliance on fossil fuels, but General Manager John Benavente says it will mean millions of dollars in potential savings.
The cost of energy here is a very low 1% escalator, and it's straight for the next 25 years. So if energy fuel costs go up, the savings from this renewables
just gets better.
It's much better.
Yeah. Okay.
So at minimum, you're looking at
that's good.
around $3 million to $4 million a year savings.
GPD expects to sign a similar agreement with the Hanwha Company in August for another 60 megawatts of solar power. Despite the growing number of reported cases of truancy at the Guam Department of Education, fewer students are being referred through the court system thanks to a strengthened interventions at the school level. Isa Baza has more.
The Guam Department of Education reported over 300 students had 12 or more unexcused absences in school year 2015-2016. The total number of truant cases that year totaled 1,600 and grew to 2,000 the following year. Despite the noticeable increase, Deputy Superintendent Chris Anderson said DOE has ramped up its efforts to address these cases of truancy before they reach the courts.
You may see an increase of about 404 cases of truancy for the past school year. What you do see a dramatic reduction in is the number of kids petitioned through the court for habitual truancy. And that's just primarily because the superintendent gave guidance that he wanted to make sure that schools were doing their due diligence.
The department's approach to handling these cases took a turn several years ago, thanks to guidance from the Superior Court.
The Chief Justice sort of clarified to the superintendent that, look, the law indicates that it's the superintendent's authority to decide which cases are going to go to the court. So with that, clarification, the superintendent's guidance to us was, well, you have a school that's reporting a student to be habitually truant. I want you to do your due diligence to verify what did the school do to mitigate the truancy. If the schools didn't do various things to intervene, then we're not going to send it forward and let the schools try and continue to work with that student and try and implement some of those required interventions.
These interventions include meeting with parents and administration in child study teams to get to the root cause of the habitual absences. The end goal is to keep students in the classroom instead of in the justice system.
This idea that once they get into the system, there's this continuous cycle of kids going through the court system for different offenses. Maybe truancy is like a gateway to further more serious offenses that bring them into the system.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
In this day and age, the Guam Fire Department not only puts out fires in response to emergency medical calls, our changing times require firefighters to train for a wide variety of services. Hazardous materials incidents involving the release of dangerous chemicals, radiation, or biological and environmental emergencies, and confined space incidents that could cause the loss of life, destruction of property, or harm to the environment must be dealt with. Our Joan Aganchar reports.
Located at the Agate Fire Station is where you will find the Hazardous Materials Response Team. In addition to their regular duties as a firefighter and EMT, the hazmat team has been extensively trained and equipped to respond to the threat and/or deployment of chemical and biological weapons of mass destruction, as well as fixed facility and transportation incidents involving the release or potential release of hazardous materials. GFD Captain Edward Flores is the officer in charge for Station 5, Platoon B, and the hazmat team.
So basically, we support the initial response units when they find that there's an extreme hazard or something that requires a extrication from a confined space, or it's an extreme hazard that we may be able to support them in.
The hazmat capability fills a gap that existed in emergency response on island and is operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a crew of 9 alternating days.
There are a lot of hazardous materials, a lot of hazardous environments on Guam that needed to be addressed as far as being able to respond to them. We're placing a lot of our firefighters in, situations that they may not have been equipped for in the past. So now what we do is we've received a lot of equipment, a lot of training to handle those environments better.
The hazmat team is outfitted with a utility truck and trailer to store and transport the equipment and protective clothing, suits, gear, tools, and equipment necessary to mitigate hazardous materials emergencies. And when they aren't responding to standard fire and medical occurrences, they're training for hazardous materials situations. Fire Lieutenant Aaron Cruz.
We do the simulations at least once a month, but we're with us here at this station, we're constantly training. So there's so much we have to learn with the suppression aspect, our EMS, our confined space rescue, and our hazmat, that we're constantly switching out. Like 1 week we do hazmat, the next week we'll do EMS, and then the next week suppression and all that. But it's like a constant thing. We're always training.
According to Lieutenant Cruz, one of the most prevalent hazmat issues on Guam is chlorine.
We need it for water treatment and all that, so that's why we're always really ready to go and always training and being prepared for chlorine leaks.
Since its establishment, the hazmat team has continually progressed and increased its capability to deal with special emergencies. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonagan Charfris.
Although the official deadline to file for candidacy isn't until this time next year, 4 incumbent senators have filed their organizational reports with the GEC, thus giving us an idea if they plan on another bid for the legislature. Filing their reports were Democratic Senators Speaker B.J. Cruz and Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi, along with Republican Senators Tommy Morrison and James Espaldon. The University of Guam Marine Lab will spearhead a space grant project to create a geodatabase about coral reefs in Guam and Micronesia. The university was awarded $1 million from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The research will help and analyze ocean and land conditions, sedimentation, and water quality in partnership with NASA scientists. Stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we'll rehash some of the big stories of the past week, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers Report. Keep it here.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment. No more long lines. And you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
Samsung Galaxy S8 for just $99 or the S8 Plus for just $199 at IT&E.
If you get nervous about having dental treatment, you're not alone. An estimated 35 million adults experience anxiety or nervousness at the simple thought of visiting the dentist. As your dentist, I strive to make your visit as painless or pain-free as possible. And I frequently tell my patients that in the 21st century, if we can give you medicines to put your tooth asleep or medicines to take an infection or toothache away, we can surely give you something to help relax you and take all fear away. No one ought to sit in a dental chair thinking of bad childhood memories or fearing injections. If you're a dental coward, but you really do want your teeth fixed, don't wait until the pain is killing you. Come in, tell us your fears, and set up an appointment. We have convinced many that dental treatment doesn't need to be scary anymore. For your helpful dental minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. You shall never know all the good a simple smile can do.
Oh! Ruby Tuesday puts the O in dinner combos with Garden Bar Plus entrees for only $20.99. Choose salmon moco, petite sirloin, or pesto chicken pasta. Only at Ruby Tuesday. Oh!
Hyundai's summer clearance event is happening now. KUAM's best dealership, Cars Plus and Mighty. With financing as low as 1.99%. There's no better time to drive a new Hyundai Accent, ranked highest in initial quality, starting at just $11,995. Or the new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995. SUV lovers, check out the new Hyundai Tucson starting at $19,995. Plus, every new Hyundai gets KUAM's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's our Hyundai summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
You got her on Guam's favorite on 94, Andy and Mariah in the AM. All right, Guam's favorite I-94, Jackie Tucson. Woo! So, I'll ask your boy.
Guam's favorite, I-94.
The Good Life, all month long on the stations and networks of KUAM. Check the KUAM News app or KUAM.com for all program listings.
Today, welcome back to Weekend Edition. This is Rehash, where we recap the big stories of the past weekend. I like to start off with the more serious stuff first, so I'm going to go ahead and start. I was in trial for UOG professor Dr. Michael Ellert. Now 6 days of trial. We've heard from 5 women who allege they were sexually assaulted at some point by the professor. Two of the ladies, however, came forward much too late, so that they were past the statute of limitations, so they actually can't, their accusations can't be charged against the professor. But we did hear on Thursday from one of his students, HR. We can only identify them by their initials. HR alleges she was in the water and that Ellert digitally penetrated her. We'll hear more about that trial next week. Hopefully defense will bring up more of the party goers. We can hear more of the stories. It's really interesting just recapping something that happened nearly 3 years ago. So you're hearing a lot of confusion. Not many people remember different details. And also there was alcohol involved. So that's another factor that the jury will have to decipher. Again, they're the fact finders. Issa, what were you up to?
Okay, also has to do with teachers, but at the Department of Education, and a much happier story. So this came out at the KUAM Education Board meeting earlier this week. teachers from Asmujao Community School came out asking the department to make a new central alternative school. Guam only has one so far, and that's an Agate JP Torres Success Academy. So this school already services students kindergarten through 12th grade, and it's helped hundreds of students so far. It's been in operation since the 70s. So they're hoping to get funding, of course, from DOE, since right now families have to pay tuition, and a lot can't afford the tuition, so they're hoping that DOE will kind of subsidize their program and they can be the official DOE Central Alternative School. So we'll see where that goes in the coming weeks. And Belle?
So I had the opportunity to meet with one of the Guam's liberators, 91-year-old Jean Bell from Los Angeles, California. And 73 years ago, he was here with the 3rd Marine Division, and he came to help liberate Guam. I also today met some of the folks from the 3rd Marine Division out of Okinawa, and they retraced the steps that the 3rd Marine Division had taken 73 years ago, and they were just amazed at some of the things that they saw at the Guam Museum, some of the battle site tour, some of the sites that they toured with the battle site group. And it was really a pleasure and honor to meet with them, to hear some of the stories that they told. They enjoyed the food, they enjoyed the sights, and they're happy to be a part of the multi-unit color guard at the parade.
Very sweet. So we'll see them this weekend.
Okay, so on the digital side, preparing for Liberation Day, we've been working really hard the past couple of weeks to just put together a bunch of things to bring the Liberation celebration to the people in Guam, but also to those off island who can't be here. So on Facebook, we have a story map that goes through different sites, eyewitness accounts, and just different things in relation to Liberation. We'll also have a 360 video of the parade. So if you're not here, then you can go ahead and watch the 360 video, and you'll feel like you're right there with us.
I know the Statesiders get really mahalang when they see our live video from the Liberation. I actually did that last year. If you have any news tips for us here at KUAM, you can email us at reporters@kuam.com.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
Why is tourism Guam's #1 industry? Tourism benefits our economy. Visitors come to our shores to experience our island. More tourist spending means more dollars flowing into our economy. Tourism creates jobs. From bell service to front desk to tour agents, more jobs mean more opportunities. Tourism builds businesses. From hotels to shops to restaurants. More businesses mean more dreams come true. Tourism preserves our culture. In the visitor industry, culture takes center stage. Celebrating our culture means keeping our traditions alive. Tourism keeps our land and waters clean. It all adds up. Tourism improves our quality of life. It helps make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Tourism works for Guam.
How do you show up? Do you just bring it? Or do you bring it all?
Lucas, we gotta go!
Third row, like a pro.
Step up to GMC with 15% below MSRP on all 2017 Acadia SLT models. That's nearly $7,000 below MSRP on this Acadia.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
It's Nissan's Stay Fit sales event.
Fitness is important. You Nissan service pros are like trainers for my car's fitness.
Now check out this heart racing deal on the Sentra, starting at just $96 per pay period. That's right, the 5-star safety rated Sentra starting at $96 per pay period. And your new car fit kit includes free service, free car washes, and your own personal fitness watch.
Keeping it fit and clean with free car washes leaves me more time to focus on keeping myself fit.
The Stay Fit sales event. Find out more at Nissan Upper Tumon or online at NissanGuam.com.
Watch Health Check with Nurse Jen Artero every Tuesday for community health information, advisories, and news you and your family can use for leading a healthier lifestyle. Health Check during KUAM News Healthy Living. Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
In commemoration of Guam's 73rd liberation, the stations and digital platforms of KUAM, along with AutoSpot Buick GMC, present the Liberation Memorial Calendar, featuring scheduled events and memorial services to remember those who lost their lives during the World War II occupation of Guam and honor those survivors. Watch KUAM News for the nightly calendar or visit KUAM.com or our news app for a downloadable calendar.
You got her on Guam's favorite I-94, Andy and Mariah in the AM. All right, Guam's favorite I-94, Jackie Tucson. Woo! So, holla at your boy.
Guam's favorite I-94.
On Wednesday, July 12th, at about 11:27 a.m., officers assigned to the Dededo Precinct Command responded to a possible home invasion that occurred along Chalan Goro Elena in Jigo. Now, according to the police report, a 14-year-old minor was at home alone sleeping inside her bedroom when she awoke to the bedroom door being forced open. The female minor described the unknown male as possibly local, 30 to 40 years of age, having a medium build and standing between 5'5" and 5'6" in height. He was last seen wearing a black baseball cap and dark clothing. The unknown male then backed out, closing the door behind him, as the female minor immediately locked the door and called the police. Now, the Guam Crime Stoppers and the Guam Police Department needs the help from the community in reference to this case.
If you have any information about this crime or any other crime, please call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. You can also send a text to 486-HELP. That's 486-4357. You can also submit information of a crime through our webpage at guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615, 6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
Samsung Galaxy S8 for just $99 or the S8 Plus for just $199 at ITNE.
Hyundai's summer clearance event is happening now. Guam's best dealership, Cars Plus and Mighty. With financing as low as 1.99%. There's no better time to drive a new Hyundai Accent, ranked highest in initial quality, starting at just $11,995. Or the new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995. SUV lovers, check out the new Hyundai Tucson starting at $19,995. Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's our Hyundai summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
My job is to protect. My job is to defend. My job is to be tough. That's why I train. That's why I need those who are tough around me. That's why I need a truck like this. Are you ready for a big boy truck?
America's best-selling truck for 40 years straight. When you're ready for a big boy truck, Triple J Ford is the place.
You need to get yourself a big boy truck.
You got it on Guam's favorite I-94, Andy and Mariah in the AM. All right, Guam's favorite I-94, Jackie 2 o'clock. Woo! So, holla at your boy.
Guam's favorite I-94.
Happy Liberation Day, Guam, from AutoSpot Buick GMC.